I remember the trip like it was yesterday. A week-long canoe journey into the wild, a place so isolated it might as well have been a forgotten corner of the earth. I'd heard the rumors, the kind of stories whispered around campfires about strange sounds in the night and an eerie feeling creeping up on you when you least expected it. But I brushed them off. I wasn't one to believe in tales of the supernatural. I was there for the wilderness, raw, untamed, and silent. That pull to nature had always been a part of me, that need to test my limits. We had been paddling for hours, the canoe fully loaded with gear. This was the kind of trip where you carried everything in. No shortcuts, no easy way out. Multiple portages made the journey exhausting, and the metal rolling cart strapped to the center of our canoe only made it worse. It was a necessary evil. Without it, we'd never transport all our equipment. But it made maneuvering harder. Every step a battle. By the time we reached the large lake, we were already worn out. It stretched before us like a vast glassy mirror, framed by towering cliffs of jagged rock. One side was nothing but sheer rock face, impossible to land on, while the other was dense forest. The cliffs made it clear we had to cross the lake, sticking to the center to avoid the towering walls of stone. But as we pushed the canoe into the water, something felt off. I couldn't place it. The air was unnaturally still. No wind, no birds, no rustling leaves, just silence. A silence so deep it pressed against my ears. Alex, my friend, sat in the bow, paddling in sync with me. Neither of us spoke. There was nothing to say, just the rhythm of our paddles breaking the eerie quiet. And yet I could feel it, the growing tension, an unspoken unease settling between us. Then, without warning, the clouds shifted. The stillness shattered. A gust of wind sliced through the air, snapping the canoe sideways. My heart pounded as I grabbed the sides of the boat. The lake, once smooth as glass, began to churn. The wind picked up in erratic bursts, sending ripples racing across the water. I glanced up and saw it, a storm rolling in. Thick, dark clouds, heavy with the promise of violence. "Shit," I muttered. Alex looked up. "We need to get off the water. Now." But there was no easy way out. The rock face was sheer, and the opposite shore was still too far. The wind grew stronger, throwing waves in every direction. At first, the swells were small, but they grew quickly and surging against the canoe. Water splashed over the sides. "We have to move, fast," I said, keeping my voice steady. But even as I spoke, I knew we weren't getting off this lake in time. The wind howled. The first lightning strike split the sky, a jagged crack tearing through the dark. My stomach clenched. The storm had come out of nowhere. Worse, the heavy metal cart in the center of our canoe now felt like a deadly mistake. Every gust threatened to tip us over. "I don't like this," Alex said, his voice uncharacteristically high. He wasn't the type to scare easily. But this was different. The swells rose higher. The canoe rocked violently, water pouring in. My arms burned as I paddled, but it wasn't enough. The weight of our gear, the metal cart, and the water sloshing inside dragged us down. "We're going to have to ride this out," I said, more to myself than to Alex. But I didn't believe it. Then, another lightning strike. Closer. My hair stood on end. The air crackled with static. My eyes snapped to the metal cart in the canoe's center. My stomach twisted. "We need to get off this lake. Now!" I shouted, but the wind roared louder than my voice. Alex's face was pale, his eyes wide. He paddled harder, but the swells pushed us toward the center of the lake, away from safety. Thunder rumbled, deep and vibrating through my bones. Then, another bolt of lightning. It struck the lake. For a moment, everything froze. The water surged. The canoe tipped violently. "Go!" Alex screamed. His paddling turned frantic, pure survival instinct taking over. I paddled harder too, but it felt useless. The storm tossed us like a toy in a raging sea. Rain poured in sheets, blinding us. The wind howled. I lost all sense of direction. Every second felt like an eternity, and I knew we were being pushed toward the rocks. There was no escape. We were trapped in the heart of the storm at the mercy of the lake. But then, somehow, we made it. Through the mist, the shoreline emerged. Dark trees, blurred by the downpour. We weren't safe yet, but we were moving, slowly, desperately. With one final push, we reached the shallows. I don't remember scrambling out of the canoe, only the moment my boots hit solid ground. I turned back to the lake, chest heaving. The storm still raged, but we were alive. Neither of us spoke for a long time, just ragged breaths, cold, shaking limbs. I kept staring at the water, expecting something, but nothing came. The storm passed by morning, but the lake never looked the same to me again. I can still hear the echo of the thunder, see the flash of lightning that lit up the sky like a warning. I don't know if it was just the storm or if something else was watching us, something ancient, something waiting. I don't go near that lake anymore, and sometimes when I close my eyes, I still hear the wind howling. Feel the canoe tipping, see the flash just before the strike.